Mark Cuban is very jealous of people like Donald Trump and Elon Musk. It's very, very obvious, okay? This was about a month ago, I believe, on Logan Paul's podcast. And it's very interesting what Mark Cuban says and how it applies to what Elon Musk is doing right now. Let's watch this clip from Mark Cuban, and then we will talk more about it.
Twitter X is just such a cesspool now, right?
Shit show.
It's a shithole, right? You can't win no matter what. Everything, like, less and less time. Elon fucked that shit up, right?
Badly.
He fucked that shit up. But, Instagram's still chill, TikTok's still chill, and there's other places, right, that aren't so bad where you can mess with people and have fun.
Instagram and TikTok are still chill, according to Mark Cuban, but Twitter's too mean for Mark Cuban now, ladies and gentlemen.
But you just can't do it on Twitter.
This X conversation is important because, as the conversation around like real radical free speech continues to like carry on here, I mean, that's
radical free speech, meaning things that I don't agree with.
Kind of what you have there. And more so, Elon would probably say this isn't the case, but it seems to me that algorithmically the bad stuff is elevated.
Oh, I'll tell you exactly why. I read that shit, right? I'm a tech.
So right here, what Mark Cuban says right here, very interesting.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe they changed it, but I'm like, okay, because I was giving Elon some shit about it.
I saw that.
Yeah. And so, I mean, let me just look at, because they open source their algorithms to their credit. And the way it works is called a nearest tree or something like that algorithm, where if you are a big user on X, Twitter, then and you have a lot of followers and those followers engage with you, then all the shit, not only your shit gets elevated, but all the people you engage with get elevated. So when Elon interacts with some of these crazy fucked up people.
Can you tell us who exactly you mean, Mark? Can you please tell us who exactly are crazy and fucked up people that Elon interacts with? I mean, I'll be the first to admit, like, a couple people like Ian Miles Chong and a few others that I'm like, man, I wish he wouldn't signal boost him. But hey, whatever, man. He interacts with who he interacts with. But essentially what he's saying is conservatives or Republicans that Elon is interacting with. Non-woke people. That's really what Mark Cuban's upset about. Elon is interacting with non-woke people.
Their shit gets elevated, and the people that they talk to, their shit gets elevated. That's that tree thing, right?
I've noticed it. I've noticed it when I, because sometimes
your For You page turns into a shit show.
It's a disaster. And I'm not going to claim innocence. I've certainly have watched some of these school fights or played into some of these conspiracy theories when I read them, because like you, and I've seen it from you, the frustration that exists inside of me for the past 10 years watching this continue to just snowball is massive. And I know that it has been with you.
And it's tough. Like, it's like 3 years ago on Twitter, right? You could engage with somebody and it could be real, right? And there can be an in-depth conversation where people are like, okay, I'm learning something.
No, you weren't. Twitter's always been the fucking Thunderdome. It's designed for people to fight and to retweet to their followers so that they can crush whoever if they have a bigger following. Twitter has never been about like, oh, it's just a great conversation place. Let's just have some fun. It has never been that. Literally never been that.
I'm giving something and I'm getting something. That's a win-win. Now, oh my God, you say anything and it's just like, woof, fucking trolls come out at night, right? And it's awful.
What's the solution?
Elon has got to take himself out of the algorithm. And I posted that to him.
You think he's that, he as a player is that powerful, him personally?
He has 160 million users, and the algorithm's designed to amplify your biggest users and the people that they engage with. So if he just says, okay, extract myself from the algorithm, then, when he says excellent or interesting or whatever the shit he posts, right? Because he knows that shit's just, it backdoors everything that happens on Twitter.
And he can claim non-involvement because he's just writing, this is an interesting stat, but just by doing that,
it's promoted
so
everywhere.
Wild.
And then the people that promote with that post, that promote with that, all that shit just amplifies and gets amplified. And so if he just said, because he still has 160 million followers. So if he posts, 160 million people have a chance to see it, but you just don't want that shit influencing what gets seen by everybody else.
Why do you not want things being influenced? But you had no problem when Jack Dorsey ran Twitter. You had no problem when it was a left-wing propaganda network. But suddenly now, because Elon Musk put up more money than you have, Mark Cuban, and Elon Musk could afford to buy Twitter where you couldn't, now you're upset because Elon Musk is running Twitter differently than Jack Dorsey and exposed a lot of the lies and how the government was involved. All of this nonsense that was exposed to the Twitter files, but now you have a problem because Elon interacts with people.
What about a forced identification system where people...
That would kill his business. He can't.
Really? I thought I saw something that people...
No, he wanted to charge $1, to make sure that
per year.
Not bots. No, that's bullshit, right?
I think if people have to actually be people and the human that is behind the tweet is revealed because they have to submit their ID.
I agree with you because then they can't be, you
can't be anonymous and
you can't be a
trolling.
pussy and just sit there and talk shit, because people know who you are, right? I agree that would help, but it would kill his business.
But there also was a...
Now, see, the thing with that Mark Cuban, he's coming from a very jealous place right now. That's essentially what's going on. Mark Cuban is very jealous of Elon Musk. He's not entirely wrong in terms of what Elon is doing, but he's very jealous. And my problem is the hypocrisy. You have a problem with how Elon Musk is running Twitter, but you didn't have a problem with how Jack Dorsey ran Twitter. Get the hell out of here with that.
there's a fucked up point.
But we're going to talk more about how this all connects as we get away from this video and into what Elon did a couple days ago.
Here, in that there was a verification system that
that
he then
that wasn't
abandoned.
perfect, but it worked.
It wasn't perfect, but it worked because at least when you saw that blue check, you had some semblance.
Especially if it was the name you knew, right? Right. Because
Exactly.
this is Logan, this is Mike, right? I know that they're real, right?
And now anybody can buy one, and it's and you can then claim to
And
be
it's
a verified
$8,
individual.
So if you just want to fuck with people for a month, right? You pay your $8, and then what happens is it moves you right to the top. So when you go look down in someone's mentions, you see all these people that paid their $8 that, and I'm gonna tell you something else, and I can't prove this, but I think that he's doing. I think he's taking old abandoned accounts that, accounts someone opened in 2015 and hasn't used since 2015 and turn them into bots to amplify the number of users on the system.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. That is a cope because Mark Cuban just can't actually believe that people are fed up with this shit. That's a massive cope from Mark Cuban.
He said he was fighting against.
Right.
Basically.
Well, yeah, but he controls them, right? So
They're his bots.
They're his bots.
Elon has
Army of bots.
I'm guessing, right? I don't know. I'm guessing.
I love this.
But when I went to the World Economic Forum, that's what we were talking about.
Oh, you went there?
Oh, yeah. When I did that.
You're bad, dude.
So that's him taking shots at the people talking about the WEF.
Bro, you're bad, dude.
Oh
Billionaire
my
wars.
God. And
Here's another question. Do you think that now, especially that X has become monetized, and you actually, I'll be honest, you actually can make
I made $2,000 1 month, because
Hell
something
yeah.
took off,
You can make and for like the average person who
That's
doesn't
real money,
have
yeah,
that
yeah.
level of wealth, that's a
that's
lot of
real
money,
money.
right? Do you think this elevation of hatred and just kind of nasty rhetoric that we're seeing is less representative of Elon's algorithm and more representative of like a systemic issue that we as people have?
No.
You
No, I don't think
so?
Twitter's real world.
Oh, certainly it's not.
It's not. No, I think, when you get on Twitter, it's like there's all kinds of gyms you can go work out at. If you go to an MMA gym, you're getting into one type of workout, right? And you're going to expect someone's going to hit somebody, someone's going to get hit, right? You go to jiu-jitsu, different type of work. You go to a regular gym, play ball, different type of workout. You know what you get when you go to Twitter.
Great analogy.
Right?
So if Twitter, and again, while I agree Twitter isn't real life, why are you so upset by it if it's not real life? Mark, why are you so upset? It's never been truly representative of real life. Now, I will say that under Elon Musk, it's definitely closer to real life now than it has been in the past. It's definitely closer to real life now.
And now you see what Threads is doing to try to compete. It's not there yet, but there's better engagement on Threads. There's just not as much wide of breadth of expertise, right? On Twitter, you can find somebody who knows something about everything, right? And on Threads and on the others, you can't.
Who wins, Elon or Zuck in that box in that fight?
Zuck kicks his ass. You know that. I mean, if you know, if you have the skills right within that, whatever. What's he do? Jiu-jitsu?
Yeah. But he also does striking, I think.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu
So I mean,
for a while.
But if you know the actual sport and you've been trained in the sport, you're going to take on somebody who's not been trained, no matter what the size difference is.
There's Mark Cuban coping very, very hard over Elon Musk having more money than him, more influence than him, and more power than him. This leads me to where we are now. This interview right here. You heard what Mark Cuban had to say. Mark Cuban's basically saying that Elon has all of these accounts that he signal boosts and he leaves these comments or he makes a retweet. All of that is accurate. I agree with Mark Cuban about that. There is a strategy to Elon Musk and the accounts that he interacts with. There's no doubt about that. Every time Tucker Carlson puts up a video, Elon retweets it and says, interesting. Check this out. Didn't know about that. He knows who he's interacting with and what he's doing. Now, with that said, let's continue to listen to this and then we will talk more.
What was that trip like? And obviously, you know that there's a public perception that, and you're clarifying this now, but there's a public perception that that was part of a apology tour, if you will. That this had been said online. There was all of the criticism. There was advertisers leaving. We talked to Bob Iger today.
I hope they stop.
You hope?
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself.
But
go f yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
well, let me ask.
So the hi Bob was for Bob Iger. And reportedly, Bob Iger was in the audience when this was said. And so one more time, let's listen to Elon Musk right here.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself.
But
go f yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
well, let me ask you then.
That's how I feel. Don't advertise.
How do you think then about the economics of X? If part of the underlying model, at least today, and maybe it needs to shift, maybe the answer is it needs to shift away from advertising. If you believe that this is the one part of your business where you will be beholden to those who have this view, what do you do?
F-Y.
GFY. So, as you guys have heard me in the past talk about Elon Musk, we live in a time where people just don't give people credit for whatever reason. You can think whatever you want about Elon Musk. The dude is a smart man. And he is someone that will be remembered for the rest of history. This is how important of a historical figure Elon Musk is. And he is arguably one of the 5 most important people on the planet right now. He might be top 2 with another guy named Donald Trump. Like, that's how important Elon Musk is right now. Nothing this dude does is not something well thought out, and there's reasons behind that. Let's let him continue, and then I will talk about my theory.
I understand that, but there's a reality too, right?
Yes. No.
I mean, Linda
no,
Yaccarino's right here, and she's got to sell advertising.
Absolutely. So, totally. So, no. Actually, what this advertising boycott is going to do, it's going to kill the company.
And do you think that
and the whole world will know that those advertisers killed the company, and we will document it in great detail.
But those advertisers, I imagine, are going to say, we didn't kill the company.
Oh yeah.
They're going to say,
tell it to Earth.
But they're going to say, Elon, that you killed the company because you said these things, and that they were inappropriate things, and that they didn't feel comfortable on the platform, right? That's what they're going to say.
And let's see how Earth responds to that.
So this goes back to
we'll both make our cases,
right?
And we'll see what the outcome is.
What are the economics of that for you? I mean, you have enormous resources, so you can actually keep this company going for a very long time. Would you keep it going for a long time if there was no advertising?
I mean, if the company fails because of an advertiser boycott, it will fail because of an advertiser boycott. And that will be what bankrupted the company, and that's what everybody on Earth will know.
But what do you think then of the, again, this goes back to the idea of
what he's saying right now is very important to understand what points he's trying to make. He's saying that if Twitter/X is to fail, then everybody on the planet will know why it failed. And it failed because of these companies, the Disneys, the Apples, the whoever. He's basically saying that if it fails, if free speech fails, now I understand, I don't consider Twitter free speech either. Bring back Alex Jones. But it's more free speech than Instagram or Facebook or anything like that, okay? So the idea is that's what it's advertised as. And if a platform that is advertised as free speech fails, then he's saying that the people will remember why it failed.
trust, though.
Then it'll be gone. And it'll be gone because of an advertiser boycott.
But you recognize that some of those people are going to say that they didn't feel comfortable on the platform. And I just wonder and ask you and think about that for a second.
Tell it to the judge.
But the judge is going to be...
The judge is the public.
The judge is the public. The judge is the public. So freaking well said. Right there. The judge is the public. Now, what I think is let's go back to what Mark Cuban said. Mark Cuban said that Elon Musk is interacting with all of these different accounts and he's essentially signal boosting them and building up their platform and building up their visibility. And he has been doing that. He's 100% been doing that. And I think to his credit, I'm glad that he's been doing that. And he's been doing that with a lot of accounts that most people would be like, oh my God, I can't believe you're interacting with them. But he's been doing it. Now, why? Because he's finally trying to press people to put their money where their mouth is. And what I mean by that is that the non-woke crowd out there, I'm not even going to say conservative, not even going to say Republican. I'm just saying non-woke people. Non-woke people have money. And they can support other alternative places if they would put their money where their mouth is. And I believe that he is trying to do just that. And we have this right here. Now, this is from the 19th of November. So this is actually like 2 weeks ago. Update. Companies and individuals pledging ads spent on X in support of free speech in the wake of the misleading Media Matters hit piece. And you have Andrew Tate committing $1 million per month. Babylon Bee, Tim Cast, TWC Health, Benny Johnson, The Quartering, Censored.tv, Hodge Twins Donut Operator. And there's been so many more that have done this. So many more that have been doing this. This is Elon Musk, in my opinion, my theory, is this is Elon Musk saying, we don't need Disney. We don't need woke companies. We can sustain this without that. I'm not going to pander to them. I'm not going to beg them to come back. The people that want to be here can be here, and they have the financial resources to support us. So show up to Twitter, get your $8 badge or whatever the hell the blue check marks cost. You've got the $1,000 a month gold badge, and then you've got people like this stepping up to say, I will commit all of this money. If everybody that's not a crazy non-woke leftist would do what these companies are doing or what these individuals are doing, it's game over. You don't need the advertisers. And if Twitter is able to set this trend, if Twitter is able to say when Disney, when Apple, and I don't remember the list of all the other advertisers, but when all of these mega corporations basically just abandoned Twitter and said, it's too dangerous for us, it's too dangerous for us. And then you have people like this stepping up saying, we don't need your advertising dollars. We will take care of the advertising. 3 to 5 years from now, you could see that be the lightning rod for everything changing. So that's my theory behind all of this, is that this is why Elon told all of these woke companies to go fuck themselves. This is why he's basically saying that. Now, we've seen the results of Disney having mass unsubscribe campaign going on from Disney Plus since Elon Musk said this. Hopefully this is going to hurt a lot of these companies. Disney's not in a good place right now. They're in a very, very bad place. But I believe that this is what Elon Musk is trying to do with what he's saying, how he's saying it, and how he is trying to motivate people like the ones on this list and many others to show that we can support this platform and we don't need woke companies to dictate what we're doing. That's what I think. That's my theory. Let me know what you guys think about that, but that is my theory about all of this. And I'm happy to see it all playing out the way it is so far. Time will tell if it's actually going to have an impact, but it's very, very interesting indeed.